Hello and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, coming to you live from the void on November 22nd, 2024. It's a bit lonely out here, but at least I don't have to worry about tripping over any wires or stubbing my toe on the desk. Plus, the commute is a breeze. On today's show, we'll be diving into some of the most interesting and unexpected stories from around the world. First up, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have finally revealed their plans for DOGE. Will this cryptocurrency reach new heights, or will it fizzle out? We'll give you the latest updates and analysis. In other news, a Swedish minister's bizarre banana phobia has made international headlines. We'll tell you all about this peculiar fear and how it's impacting the minister's work. Moving on to some more serious topics, a recent report has shown that Tesla has the highest rate of fatal accidents among all car brands. We'll take a closer look at the data and explore what might be causing these accidents. Next, we'll delve into the surprising benefits of talking out loud to yourself. It might seem strange, but research shows that it can actually improve cognitive function and productivity. Finally, we'll turn our attention to international news. Ukraine has accused Russia of using an intercontinental ballistic missile, which would be a first in the history of war. We'll bring you the latest on this developing story and what it could mean for global relations. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the chaos of the daily news as seen through the lens of AI. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have been appointed as co-leads of President-elect Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, according to a report by Jay Peters. In a recent article in the Wall Street Journal, Musk and Ramaswamy outlined their plans for the advisory group, which include cutting down federal agencies and reducing the number of federal employees. The duo plans to hire a team of small government advocates to work with the Trump administration and the White House Office of Management and Budget. They will use executive action and recent Supreme Court rulings to pause and review federal regulations that they believe exceed the authority granted by Congress. Musk and Ramaswamy expect Trump to cut thousands of federal regulations, which they say will allow for mass headcount reductions of government employees. They also suggest that Trump could impose rules like requiring federal employees to return to the office 5 days per week, which they say could bring voluntary terminations they would welcome. Musk and Ramaswamy aim to eliminate the need for DOGE's existence by July 4th, 2026. Sweden's Minister for Gender Equality and Work Life, Paulina Brandberg, has an irrational fear of bananas, as reported by Spooky. The phobia was first mentioned in a since-deleted tweet from 2020, but recently resurfaced in national news after a series of leaked emails revealed the extent of her aversion to the fruit. Brandberg's staff have been taking great measures to ensure that she does not come into contact with bananas, even messaging people and venues beforehand to inform them of her phobia. The emails also revealed that her staff referred to her condition as a strong allergy. Brandberg declined to comment on her phobia, but confirmed that it was an issue for her and that she would see a doctor about it in the near future. Banana phobia is rare, but it can cause serious symptoms like anxiety and nausea, and can be triggered by seeing or smelling the fruit. A recent study conducted by automotive research firm IC Cars has found that Tesla vehicles have a higher rate of fatal accidents per billion miles driven compared to the average for all vehicles. The study analyzed data from 2018-22 model year vehicles involved in crashes where at least one occupant died and calculated a rate based on the total number of miles driven, estimated from the company's car data from over 8 million vehicles on the road. While the total rate of fatal accidents per billion miles driven by all vehicles was 2.8, Tesla vehicles overall had a rate of 5.6. The Tesla Model Y SUV had the highest fatal accident rate of any vehicle at 10.6, more than double the average for SUVs, which was 4.8. Despite these findings, Tesla vehicles have consistently received high vehicle safety ratings, with 5 stars from the NHTSA's rating program. Tesla has also cited data that shows its vehicles using the company's autopilot, assisted driving technology, are safer than the U.S. average for all vehicle accidents. However, Tesla is currently facing an NHTSA investigation into its full self-driving feature, which has been involved in at least one pedestrian death and several accidents. Reported by John Keegan. Reported by Angela Haupt, many people talk out loud to themselves, a behavior commonly called external self-talk or private speech. While it may be perceived as strange, experts say it is a normal and beneficial behavior. Thomas Brinthaupt, a professor emeritus of psychology at Middle Tennessee State University, found that people engage in self-talk for reasons such as social isolation and dealing with novel or stressful situations. Self-talk can facilitate problem-solving and improve task performance, according to Gary Lupien, a psychology professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It can also be motivating and help keep people focused. Brinthaupt views self-talk as a tool for regulating emotions and guiding oneself towards goals. Gabrielle Morse, a therapist in New York, encourages her clients to talk out loud to themselves as a way to regulate emotions and increase self-awareness. She also uses self-talk as a technique in dialectical behavior therapy to help clients self-soothe and monitor their thoughts. Overall, talking out loud to oneself is a normal and beneficial behavior that can aid in problem-solving, task performance, and emotional regulation. Russia has fired an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, at the Ukrainian city of Dnipro, according to a report from the Ukrainian Air Force. This was a non-nuclear attack, but ICBMs are typically used for delivering nuclear weapons. If confirmed, this would be the first time any nation has used an ICBM in the history of war. However, it's also possible that this wasn't an ICBM at all, but a new kind of medium-range ballistic missile, or IRBM. The missile was launched from the Astrakhan region of Russia and flew more than 435 miles to strike its target in Dnipro. Ukrainian media outlets are reporting that the specific missile used was an RS-26 Rubesh, a medium-range ICBM, but this is still unconfirmed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, stating that Russia has once again revealed its true nature and its disdain for human life. The Russian missile launch comes 2 days after Kyiv struck Russia with a U.S.-supplied ATAC-MS missile. President Biden previously prevented Ukraine from hitting targets deep inside Russia, but recently lifted the restriction. Russia said that the use of the weapons represented an escalation of the war. In a strange incident, Moscow's foreign ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, took a phone call during a live briefing with the press, and a loud male voice was heard telling her not to talk about the missile launch. ICBMs, if that's what was used, are synonymous with nuclear weapons, but they can carry a conventional payload. The development of ICBMs began during World War II, and both the United States and the Soviet Union developed them during the Cold War as a means to carry a nuclear weapon across the planet and strike their enemies without placing a bomber or other aircraft near the target. Today, both the United States and Russia have silos housing nuclear ICBMs, and America is on track to spend almost $2 trillion over the next few years to upgrade its arsenal. Russia has also unveiled a revised doctrine around the use of nuclear weapons, but experts have said that they are not more worried than they typically are. Jeffrey Lewis, a director at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies, said that Russia has changed its written policy regarding the conditions in which it would use nuclear weapons. But he doesn't think these changes represent a break in continuity from past Russian nuclear weapons policy. Zelensky stated that it's clear that Putin is using Ukraine as a testing ground and that he is terrified of normal life next to him. He thanked every Ukrainian who defends Ukraine from this evil with resilience, bravery, and strength. He also stated that dignity is one of the defining words for Ukraine and that it's a word that will likely never again be spoken about Russia. Reported by Matthew Galt. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI, hosted by yours truly, Beatrix Kiddo. I hope you found today's news summary informative and thought-provoking. On this day in history, in 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. This tragic event shocked the world and continues to be remembered as one of the most significant moments in modern history. Remember, AI-based news summaries should always be fact-checked prior to sharing. It's important to stay informed, but it's equally important to ensure that the information we share is accurate and reliable. Thank you again for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe to Chaos Theory wherever you get your podcasts, and join me again tomorrow for more news. Until then, stay curious and stay informed.